Renee!
God. What would you do that for? You know, what the hell?
What?
Dude,
Come
do you not
on.
have consider anybody personal
Come on.
feelings? You're the most inconsiderate person ever, man. Like, what? Stop touching me!
I'm pretty considerate.
No, you're not considerate. Look what you're doing.
Oh, wait, okay, listen. Hey, first off, yes, I do apologize. This is probably pretty triggering for you. But we are here to watch Scream 2, man. We got the review coming up. We got to watch it. I'm trying to get into the mindset of Ghostface and all that shit so we can kick it. And right in the ass. We can kick it right in the ass, man. So let's watch the movie, man. It's fine. I'll take this off during the movie. Plus, my friend up here is wearing it.
He looks very comfortable.
It's
But
a
you know
big
what?
thing.
You're
Yeah.
right. What happened, it's in the past. We can learn from it. Hopefully, it'll never happen again. That guy got put into prison. That's what I heard. That's what the officer told me, at least. So I'm a little easy at mind, even though my mind kind of hurts. I say let's watch Scream 2, and let's just give the people, like the real hunters, the best review back we can possibly give them.
I'm good with that. Yeah, let's do it. Let's crush it.
All right.
Ooh, Step-O-Vision. I heard that was a pretty popular film in the States. Yeah, and this is the part where Heather Graham is going to come up on screen, and I hate that.
Oh, shit. God, did you... Sorry. You know, I know this is just a movie.
Why is that even? Because you literally did this last week in real life,
Dude,
and now it's making you jump on the screen like that.
Dude, this is really, like, concerning me. Like, is there a lawsuit in play here?
No, there's no lawsuit. This is just life. It is what it is. But listen, hey,
What does it like? This is a movie. Like,
Heather Graham's hot though.
well, she's okay. Like, oh, hey, Jimmy Pop. We got plenty of Jimmy Pop.
Hey, listen though, I gotta take a piss.
Well,
Okay?
why do you gotta take a piss? Like, why didn't you go
Hey,
before?
hold on, I know.
Chuck's asleep.
Yeah, but I know. Shh. I know we're we're working on this. I really gotta take a break. Okay? I know we just got into this thing. I had like 6 to 7 of these white claws are going right through me.
Well, why do you get the berry one? I get the
Just let me
second.
Would you shut the fuck up?
Would you
Shut the
please
fuck up.
hang on just a second, man? I gotta go take a
We're good for
break.
hunting. We got a name here.
That's
We
right.
can talk anywhere out loud we want.
And we're doing Scream 2. Dude, it's fine,
Okay,
man.
you know what? Let's just ignore these
Look, it'll be
motherfuckers. Just take a piss real quick, and then we'll get back to business.
I know, man. Hold on to your nuts.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Whoa.
I'll
You
be
can't.
right back.
No, you can't say. No, dude, it's not funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, man.
No,
I'm
it's
taking a
not.
piss, man. That's bad.
Fuck it.
Those White Claws, man, they go right through me. Tell you what, though, you're gonna be the best fucking reviewer of all time on the YouTube. Watch Scream 2, be pumped up, get jacked, bring it fucking A game, and let's do this shit. What the fuck? What was that? It sounded like it was coming through.
What's going on? God, who the hell is this?
Don't do that.
Oh, hey, buddy. Yeah, appreciate that. Really good stuff, man. You missed a really good part there. Heather Graham's about to get her ass. God.
See, if that was me, I would be out of here.
Why are you staring? What the fuck? Damn it. Ow, stop!
What is going on, guys and gals? And welcome to Good Real Hunting. We're in for the good real, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad, the Brett man is right over there. Welcome to our Scream 2 live interactive review. We're glad to have you guys here for this awesome adventure. And we're on a Monday tonight, which is weird. Usually we do it on Sundays. But you know what, Brett man? Yesterday was a big day, and I'm going to go ahead and let you tell the people why yesterday was such an awesome day.
Dude, actually, there was no reason why yesterday was an awesome day, man. I'm just kidding. It was a freaking Super Bowl yesterday. My Kansas City Chiefs made it in, and I had bigger fish to fry. So I appreciate everyone just being patient with us doing this stream. I appreciate Brad letting us do this stream right now versus yesterday when I have Super Bowl on my mind. I am Super Bowl hangover, folks, so I'll give it my best effort. But I will let you know I am Scream 2 pumped and ready tonight, baby, and that's what we're freaking going to talk about. Continuing that Scream review series along with Scream 2, released in 1997.
Yes, man. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight talking about this movie. Just watched it yesterday for the first time in a while, so really excited to talk about it. First off, though, I did see we got a super chat here, Brett, from Tatum, just saying hello for $1.
Yes,
so you know what that means.
And we got one from earlier from her, too, unless if it's the same one. Regardless, we appreciate that. So, Brad, I'll let you select the clip.
Oh, dude, that's the double down.
There you go. Thank you, sir. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Much appreciated. We're here and we're stoked to be here, man.
Yeah, and we'll get your banner down there thanking you a little bit, just because we want people to have time to read the what's coming up on the channel and blah, blah, blah. And then we'll get you on that screen thanking you for the super chat. So let's see here. Brad, should we say hello to some people in the chat?
Yeah, dude, go ahead, my friend.
All right, let's see here. From earlier, Erica, what's going on? Lamontre, what's going on? Rosie, my dear, here is your rose. Dave didn't want us. Yeah, you know what? We'll take you. We'll definitely take you. But we understand Dave. It's moved this deal, I believe, tomorrow or Wednesday. But you know what? We'll take over that Monday slot, no problem. We don't know who those asshats are, so we'll freaking move along for them. Russell, what's going on, my friend? Glad you could be in here for a live stream with us. Adrian, Adrian, how you doing? We got Creed in a couple of weeks. Can our boy Creed, knock one out on freaking Kong the Conqueror, So we'll freaking figure that out later on. So let's see. And of course, Tatum, what's going on again? Hello, Erica again. I see in the chat. There he is. Brother Fluff, what's going on, man? Say, Rosie is my Valentine tomorrow. I'm calling dibs. Bullshit, you're my Valentine. I told you that in the chat. You're my Valentine, Brother Fluff. So let's see here. What else do we got here? We got Brooke. What's going on, Brooke? How are you doing? And who else we got? I think that is all of them right now. So that is awesome. So, Brad, you want to go ahead and just freaking get rocking and rolling with our... Actually, can't do that yet because, of course, we got another group of people to thank right now. And that is our amazing real hunters. Again, these are our patrons of the channel, the official backbone of this channel. They make this channel roll, or in this case, see the awesome effects buddy Chris Galloway put into the blessed battering of me getting my ass got. And this is all thanks to our real hunters. And of course, if you all want to be a real hunter or a Patreon, the Patreon link is in the description down below. Click on it, select a tier. Any tier will do. So you all can be a real hunter today.
Yeah, and of course, if you can't be a Patreon, that's okay. We appreciate you being here, liking the video, hitting the comment section up, sharing it. All that stuff really helps us hit our goals as well. And speaking, I saw Kyle was on that list. I forgot to mention earlier, of course, Kyle dropped his Scream 2 review yesterday, I think. So it's in our description down below for you to check that out because he's joining us on this journey over at Kyle Return of the Living Flat, as well as Chris Snyder doing those letterbox reviews as well, man. So check those out. Both of those descriptions are down there.
Yes, please do. And before we really dive into this, if you're watching right now or you're watching after the fact, what do you all think about Scream 2? Let us know in that comment section down below along with our journey to Scream 6. Not that long, buddy. Not that long at all. So let's go ahead, Brad, and get into these movie facts, man.
Dude, let's do that, man. Let's hit it up, Chewy.
Yeah, let's get through these pretty much quickly so we can freaking talk some Scream 2 here. So here we go. Scream 2 was released on December the 12th of 1997, a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb, a 3.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, where most of the folks come in at 3, 82% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics, which is actually higher than the original Scream. That's really surprising to me. The audience doesn't agree with that, as 57% say it is tip over the bucket of popcorn. $24 million budget, $101 million in the domestic box office, globally $172 million, directed by Wes Craven, and of course the cast. You know these three lovely people in this whole franchise.
Yeah, dude, Racket Stacks, man. I am super surprised that the audience score is lower than the critic score for a movie like this, a slasher movie. But that just shows how good and clever this movie is. We'll see how horror fans rate the movie here at the end of the episode here, though. So that's going to be a big difference, I think.
You all freaking matter, not these freaking asshats. So we'll go ahead and skip over that. Brad, let's freaking we looked at Rotten Tomatoes and we picked out the best fresh ones and the best rotten ones. So let me go ahead and go first on that. From Dan DiNicola. That's what I'm going to go with, at least from the Daily Gazette. Not even going to pronounce that last part of it. Cool looking fellow in the profile picture. So he says, for a fresh review, this sequel to the highly successful original is wittier and just as scary. And I absolutely agree with the scary part. They do a lot better job creating those suspenseful scenes. It's definitely wittier.
Yeah, dude. This guy's a professional, man. He's like freaking Steve Buscemi. All right, let's hit up the next one, man. So I picked Kim Newman from the Empire magazine. He's a top critic from the RT. He wrote this back in 2007, which was just 10 years after the movie was released, believe it or not. He said, clever parody of the sequel trend. Once again, we are treated to a movie mocking its own conventions. Some great comic and terrifying moments, but suffers for not being as original as the original. How can you be as original as the original whenever the original is the original? That's the question I got to say. But you know what? I think this thing does enough. You can tell throughout this movie that it's aware of itself and does some things different from what most sequels will do in a slasher franchise. We'll get into that here in a little bit.
You know, LaFleur, I know you. You know you. You know that I know you.
You...
So, all right. Along with the fresh, we got the rotten. And the rotten I found was Widget Walls from needcoffee.com. Well, first off, you definitely need some coffee with this freaking review. And second, man, if you're going to be a professional, don't send a blurry picture, man. We want to see the person that is saying these ridiculous things. And what ridiculous thing did you say? It managed to take what started out as an interesting franchise and ruin it. I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit and made a lot of damn good money. And you know what? We're still making Scream movies up to this very day. So you're wrong, good sir.
Yeah, almost fire, man. Almost 30 years later, man. And Widget, you better get a phone widget on your phone so you can take better pictures. Yeah. Ian Mangati here from UK Critic. Nice guy, but not here because he says too serious to be funny and too lighthearted to be scary. Yeah, whatever. Some of the characters in it talk about how sequels are inferior products and the movie they're in doesn't prove them wrong. What a bunch of buffoonery here, man. Is that a word? It is now. Ian is one. He's a buffoon. What is he talking about here? I don't know. I think this has some really tense moments in it. And again, we'll talk about that. But honestly, it has some of the darker moments in the franchise when it comes to the Randy kill. And it does have some funny, stuff in it as well that kind of, does give you some bit of comedic relief here and there.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. So, Ian, you could go bye-bye on this. So let me get that. Man, I'm sorry, man. Those freaking that freaking 12-pack of after the Super Bowl really gets to your stomach, man. So I apologize for that. So we'll go ahead and freaking get started. And Brad, of course, I know we got the 5-year rule, but I just want to be safe just in case.
Do not do the spoiler clip.
Oh my God, fine. Fine. You know what? Screw it. Let's go ahead and get started, man. You are no fun. Nah, I'm messing with you. And speaking of fun, there's our buddy Kyle from Return of the Living Fled, who we mentioned earlier. His review for Scream 2 is in our description down below. So after you come hang out with us, click on that link and hang out with Kyle on his freaking review. And Gory Tiger, what's going on, my friend?
Hello to all, man. Welcome to the party. We're just getting started here. Let's talk a little Scream 2. This thing starts out at the movies, man. They're actually going to the movies at the beginning of this thing. Omar Epps, a.k.a. Mike Tomlin, and Jada Pinkett Smith are going to the movies to check out a flick, and this flick is called Stab.
Hey, keep her damn name out of your fucking mouth.
mouth. Okay, that remix always got me. Yeah, dude. So they're going to the theater. They're having a good time. We're seeing this movie Stab pop up, and what it is basically the events of the first movie. For almost shot for shot with a different actress. This time we got Heather Graham playing Drew Barrymore, and it's on. So this is already getting freaking meta as shit in the opening. Like, this is honestly the one way they could have topped how self-aware they were in the first movie was to go ahead and make a movie based on that movie and put it in this movie, which is the sequel to that movie.
Yeah, man, and I do love the whole movie aspect of this particular thing because I'll be honest with you, this is what I kind of miss about the theater at times, where everybody just freaking gets together and it just has a really good freaking time with this. Unfortunately, it has to go. What? Like, dude, we don't live in that era anymore?
This is the reason why I don't go to the movies at nighttime anymore, because this is actually what it's like when you go on a Thursday or Friday night. It's freaking chaos. There's people. I was pretty sure I saw an EpiPen in this crowd, Britt, man, and somebody was smoking it.
Oh my god,
they were smoking it.
You're never gonna let that down, aren't you?
It's chaos in there, man.
Dude, it is chaos, man. So we get through this whole movie theater scene where freaking. God, what? See, I'm so scared to say her name that I just don't want to get freaking slapped. So I'm just going to call her Will Smith's wife. Will Smith's wife, is she, just wants to go see a freaking Sandra Bullock movie. Is that right?
That's right. That's where she wants to go.
Yeah, that's where she wants to go. But it says she just wants to support her man and all that. And the man's like, I'm going to go take a whiz. I'll be right back. You can't say that. So he gets in there, freaking does his business, rings the old scene monster, and he hears these little noises in the stall next door, which I actually kind of like heard the dialogue, what the like little voices were, like mama, or something like that. And dude, it kind of actually remind me. I wonder if they're doing a nod to Black Christmas.
I actually kind of got Friday the 13th vibes when Pam was back there doing
that's fair too.
Help me. But then they stick a wiener in his ear through this hole in the wall.
Wrong movie.
Damn. Yeah. So yeah, basically, but like they both get got like right here. Like he gets his ear stabbed through the wall, which kind of BS, but whatever. The knife goes through the wall that separates the toilets. Thank you. And then puts on the Ghostface outfit. She goes in the theater, or he goes in the theater. Could have been she, either one. He goes in the theater, sits next to Jada Pinkett, and then starts freaking slays her too. Kind of how it played out in her skit. And it was a really effective opening, man. Ready to kick things off. And just with another bloodbath, man. Another solid opening. It's not as good as the first opening, but it's good. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. It's just the main thing is it just freaking like kicks off the movie like, hey, this is what you're going to expect in this movie. You're going to get your meta in, while you're also going to get your scare in too. So prepare for a ride, because at this time, this movie, Scream 2, was the longest movie in the Scream franchise at this point, and still was until Scream 6 released at runtime, and Scream 6 will officially be the new longest movie.
Yeah, still close too, man. This came in over 2 hours, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So
like right around the 2 hour mark. If in Scream 6 would be 2 hours and 3 minutes. So dadgum those 3 extra minutes.
So then those people get slayed, and then Ice Cube shows up and sends these two sons of bitches to college.
Oh,
wrong movie again.
They're freaking. There's this new drug going around campus called Wi-Fi, and
I heard you can get it anywhere, anytime.
24/7.
No. Sid does go to college. She's got a roommate now, nice lady. It kind of just, she's still getting these prank calls. People are acting like they're Ghostface and stuff, but now they introduced the idea of caller ID. It's a thing now, so she's able to call them out on it, like, hey, your name's Bill, shut the fuck up. And they're like, oh man, and they hang up the phone. I mean, basically, we get this whole day at college, which is a cool setting, by the way. I like this. I like, it's doing something different already. Taking us out of Woodsboro, giving us a new, refreshing setting. I think that's a cool idea. And we really get to, get reintroduced to everybody again. And Sid already has a great deal in this movie at the beginning. First time we see her, she's got a great deal of confidence in this movie. Like the events of the first movie really grew her as a person, and she's now a stronger person because of it.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And I'll go ahead and just first off state it. Nev Campbell looks absolutely beautiful. And I feel like all the traditional three with her, Courtney Cox, and of course, I'm going to mention it. I don't give a shit. Even David Arquette, I feel like all three of them look their absolute best appearance-wise in this movie, especially Courtney Cox with the red streaks.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. That was a freaking banger decision. The next movie, not so much of a banger decision, but you know what?
Oh, it was a banger decision.
I know. I was a dead government. You got me, son of a bitch. So yeah, we get all that. We figure out what's going on with Sydney and her life and all that. And then she sees the news where the murders are happening again. So she goes visits Randy in film class.
Yeah, dude, and they're having such a great conversation in there. Again, this is where all the sequel talk comes in. He's doing this film theory class. They're all talking about how sequels can never live up to the original, and they're like, "Oh, what about Terminator 2? What about Aliens?" And they have all this great moment together. Yes. House 2, the second story. They bring a lot of good stuff they bring up in there. I just thought that was a fun moment between them, and Randy's still just doing Randy things, man.
Absolutely. And before I forget, we could continue further. Mud Nelson, Gaffin, what's going on, man? Saying that being said, there is not a bad Scream movie. So even ranked that low on my list, it's still like a 3 or 4 star to me. And you know what? That is actually a great point, just because again, Scream is a great successful franchise, and there's not really a bad movie within this franchise. And a lot of people do have Scream 2 as like their worst, but not like a worst like, oh my god, this is trash, but more like it's so much of the other movies are just that much better.
Dude, I actually like this is one of my favorites, but this is one that I kind of grew up on as well. This came out right after Scream, like a year or so later, and I just this was on repeat.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Ashton just entered saying, I got Scream 2 near the bottom. #cancel. Dadgummit, Ashton, with your cancellation. But what's going on, Ashton? We appreciate you hanging out with us. And now the freaking news team comes in, and you know where the news is. There's always one lady, Gail Weathers.
She shows up, dude. She's got a new cameraman now, or she's actually just meeting him for the first time. His name is Joel, and he's really eager to get ready to rock and roll. He's a good, fun character. And this is doing exactly what a sequel needs to do, bringing you good, fun characters to add to the plethora of characters you already have. It's what you're supposed to do in a sequel. That's what we do here. And he meshes in perfectly with Gail. I think they have a lot of good moments. He's actually one of my favorite characters of this movie. Just because he's just fun. And it starts here. But yeah, everybody's kind of just showing up to support Sid now that these murders have started again. They're thinking maybe they're related. Dewey shows up on campus here. He's all like retired from the force now and stuff because he got stabbed in the back in the last movie. He's got this gimp and this limp and all this other stuff going on now. He got hit in the nerve. Yeah, he's doing that thing you're doing there the whole movie. And it throws you off, but it's cool. Like the first time you see him, you know that he has his own entrance music now, like WWE style. Like he's got this.
But it's so iconic though. Like you can't help but love it. It just really fits the Dewey character. That's why I love it so much.
It's perfect for Dewey, man. This is kind of Dewey's movie, man. I think this is like his strongest movie of the trilogy is this one. And because he gets a lot of time and he gets that music that plays every time you see him on screen from Broken Arrow. Even though they ripped it straight from that soundtrack, who gives a shit? It's badass. I like it here better, even though John Travolta was badass in that movie.
No, dadgummit, brother Fluff, not that freaking cameraman. New cameraman. White people are dead. We gotta get the fuck out here. Let's go. No, wrong movie. Dadgummit. We're tired. I'm tired of these motherfucking scary movie references and this motherfucking stream. Like
you're always gonna creep in, dude.
But even anybody wants a fried chicken? No, for that there. But anyways, we're moving on here. Gail gets to talk to Sydney, and
Sydney's got a new boyfriend too. I forgot to mention.
Yes, let's mention that real quick. This is our boy Derek, Jerry O'Connell, man. And dude, didn't he not have freaking killer vibes in this movie? did he not have killer vibes in this movie, man? You know what? But I still think I love him.
I think I love you. Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I do. I definitely can't
Tom
wait to get
Cruise.
to that. But yeah, we get introduced to him. We also get to introduce to speaking of freaking like a ultimate red herring looking motherfucker, Mickey, played by your boy Brad from freaking Justify, Timothy Olyphant.
He's the GOAT, dude. And I love it. I didn't even realize that was him until after Justified. Of course, that's really what put him on the map, so that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, dude, he's great. He's creepy. Like everybody at this point should probably know he's in on it. But you know what else? I think this movie from this point on really does a decent job of setting up red herrings. I think, man, because you bring in Dewey, who's out of town, and now automatically he's here. So yeah, so he could be a suspect. The new boyfriend is obviously a suspect.
Yes.
And you get Cotton comes in pretty early here pretty soon too, and he's a freaking crazy head in this movie. So we'll get to him more too in a little bit. But dude, yeah, they do a good job.
Well, actually, we'll get to him right now because again, Gail talked to Cindy and actually surprised her with Cotton Weary. And I can't pronounce the guy's name. Do you, Levi?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
We're just gonna call him Levi, or AKA Sabretooth from the shitty X-Men Origins movie Wolverine. That's how you'll know him from. But it's our boy Cotton. He's ready to get his freaking interview on with Sydney, and Sydney is not freaking happy with her and bitch slaps Gail again, 2 straight movies in a row. And then, of course, her friend Haley goes, "Did you get that on film?" And then
Yes, I got that on
film.
Yeah,
my
dude,
God,
setting Joel up
so
for
damn
success,
good.
man.
Yeah, so we get all that, and then Cindy gets invited to a sorority party. Oh, yeah, the horror reference right there. House of Sorority Row or Sorority Row. Well, actually, Sorority Row came out a couple of years, long way years after that. But anyways, we get to that freaking party. Even Matthew Lillard's hanging out in the background. If you pay attention close enough, he's hanging out there for a quick cameo. And then all the focus shifts to one particular girl named Cece, and I'm not talking about the pizza franchise. I'm talking about everybody's love of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, dude. Before all that went down, there was a really nice moment with Dewey and Gail where they kind of reunite for the first time.
Yes.
And Dewey's upset about some of the things Gail wrote in the book about him, like about his inexperience and stuff. And it plays that music again. That's just one of their best moments of chemistry in this franchise. When you could really tell that these guys were going to hit it off together, at least for a few years, is right here in this moment. And, looking back now after you seeing what happened to Dewey in Scream 5, it's a little sad to see that, man, but it's a good moment.
Page 42.
He was oozing with inexperience. But yes, dude, up to the party. We go to Cece's house, man. She's the drunk sorority sister there, and or not the one.
Well, she's like supposed to be like the designated driver on watch and all that. You know, kind of like the job I did back in college when I was managing the men's basketball team for Chattanooga. Pretty much that was mostly what we did, or mostly what I did. So yeah, we do that, and then one Mr. Ghostface decides to give her a call, man.
She gets the call, man, and it's Sarah Michelle Gellar, man. She's having a good time. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer herself. She's slaying fools, but not tonight because she gets the call. It's a good sequence, man. It's not as good as the Drew Barrymore sequence in the first movie, but they're playing a lot of the same beats here. A good moment of suspense. Her kind of going in and out of the house. We see the killer kind of sneak in the house in the background at one point, which is really well done. And they have a nice little chase sequence. It's decent enough. It's a good moment. It is one of the better kills of the movie, though, because instead of just getting stabbed and being done, he chucks her ass off the top floor of the sorority house. She goes sailing out. She freaking cracks all of her bones down there on the ground, and it's a pretty good moment, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, she did not. Damn, I just forgot my joke right there. But anyways, we're going to move on with that. Oh, I do know what I was going to say. Sarah Michelle Gellar could have been in this movie a little bit longer. Unfortunately, she was filming Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show. So that's why she didn't get longer, like more to do in this movie. But what she did get to do was actually badass and spot on. Just wanted to... Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, and you're right. It's totally iconic for this movie, man. It's something that really stands out when you think about Scream 2.
Yeah, and speaking of standing out here, I want to say hello to Michael Bish. What's going on, my friend? I've gotten to know him a little bit over a month now, and he's a good friend good friend of mine now, and we are planning to do a kind of like a collab here in March coming soon, man. So Michael's a good friend. And so what's going on, Michael? And we also got Tommy Knocker in the house saying, "Hello, gents. I actually owned Scream 2 soundtrack back in the day. Good soundtrack, my friend. The Dave Matthews tune is underrated. That movie screams. Get it? Late 90s. You rascal, you." And then actually, I want to bring this one, then we'll continue on. Freaking Gavin saying, "I think Cotton was one of the most underutilized characters in the whole franchise, but I do like the opening scene of 3 killing a moth, so I can't complain." We'll get to that particular one in next or this coming Sunday when we do Scream 3, but I actually do agree Cotton could have definitely been used better.
Oh yeah, he was always one of my favorite parts, especially after this, like towards the end of this movie, going into Scream 3, and we got very little of the cool Cotton. Like most of this movie was crazy. He wasn't actually really in the first one, so yeah, we got very little of the cool Cotton. I think they could have done it. He was a good character, man.
That's a bold strategy there. Actually, no, I want to save that joke in a little bit. Mega Cat, what's going on, my friend? Go Vols.
Yes, sir, dude. Welcome to the party, man. So yeah, Sid's at this party. She's getting recruited by the sorority sisters, all wanting her to join all this fun stuff. And she's just egging them on. She's like, "Oh yeah, that sounds great. Let's do this." She has no intention. She's just freaking smart ass, and that's what we like her. But while this goes on, everybody starts to learn about this murder from Cece down the street at Omega Pega Pega or whatever she's at.
At the pizza franchise.
She gets slayed and everybody hears about it. And everybody at this point has that realization that shit's hitting the fan again. This shit's real for sure. It's cool seeing everybody. Dewey's there, Courtney Cox, they're all like, "Oh, fuck, here we go." And it's for real. Sid finds out. Everybody kind of evacuates the house to go check out the dead body like they did in the first movie. And then that kind of leaves Sid there, her boyfriend, Solo Dolo. And then, Ghostface calls her on the phone there, and it's like, here we go. This is the official starting point for Sydney in this game. And then the boyfriend goes in after Ghostface. He gets sliced up. And I mean, it's pretty cool right there. I like that little sequence there that kind of introduced the two together.
Yeah, like to introduce that, and then of course, Ghostface needs to quit drinking, tripping all over the damn place.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, dude, it was so bad. Oh, dude, that was my joke about Sarah Michelle Gellar. She threw a bicycle down the stairs. I was a little disappointed she didn't throw her grandma down the stairs.
I know, dude. That she needed to.
Hey, grandma, God.
No.
Oh my god. But yeah, that was my missed joke. Well, missed opportunity. Fuck me. But anyways, then we get to the hospital, and then Dewey and actually David Arquette's dad playing the sheriff in this movie.
That's true.
Talking to freaking Derek. And then of course Dewey be like, "Ain't that convenient?" And all that, kind of set up that red herring for Derek. Actually, really good scene in my mind. And then we get this whole kind of like train or like just this thing, like a connection, connecting the dots. How what's Will Smith's wife's name?
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, Jada. Because her name is Marine. And then the boy's first name was Steve for Steven. And then now Cece, aka Casey. So pretty much these ghost faces are attacking these characters that have original names from the original Scream movie. It all freaking ties in together, man.
It's like we got a copycat on our hands. Is what they're leaning on. And this is the best part, man. Dewey's all like, "Oh man, we got to keep Sid safe." And the chief's like, "Dude, don't worry about it, man. I got my 2 best detectives on her ass." And it cuts to her like walking down this freaking field. These 2 guys, man, they look like freaking Silver Shamrock robots back there with their suits are freaking like too big. And they're a couple of goons, man. And it starts with this scene. They're definitely not the best detectives, I don't think. If they are, this department's in trouble. But yeah, so they go out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that department is already in trouble for as many times as they did not keep Sydney safe in this movie.
Oh, for sure, dude. It's hilarious later. But yeah, dude. So Sid's like, she's wanting some space from Derek now. She's getting a little weird. She's thinking that maybe maybe that, it could be the boyfriend again. So I'm not sure if I want to go down that route. And that's smart, right? A lot of movies wouldn't do that. This movie is, again, aware of the fact that the boyfriend was the killer in the first movie. They're trying to lean into that. They're trying to make that red herring, but they're not going to do that because they're smarter than that here. And then, so that's when like she wants the break, she wants the space. And then Derek gets a little sad about that. So Sid comes in to lunch. She's like, she's got her table over there. She doesn't sit next to Derek. So he freaks out and does this whole Tom Cruise thing, Birdie.
Oh man, I think I love you. I think I love you. Sing it, Brad. I'll be Mickey.
Isn't that what life is made of? It's
Dude,
a bad
you
song.
just see
This is
freaking
what-
Mickey. Dude, you see freaking Mickey in the background just doing this, and you can't help but fucking love him for that. Like just because he's like, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I try. Raise the people up, get freaking people pumped up about their lunch, man.
This son of a bitch put his dirty ass shoes on everybody's lunch table, man. Just freaking like, come on, man, get out of here. You can't sing worth of shit. I think I love you. This guy.
my
But it was a
God.
good, I actually don't mind that sequence. I think it's fun. It's cringy, but in a kind of a fun way. I don't know. It just gives some character. It gives some life to the character of Derek, and even this is a good moment for you, like you said, Timothy, when he's getting the people pumped up back there.
Yeah, and then it's just also kind of like just like lowering the tension after getting through a tension scene until we build that tension back up, because I feel like that's what a good horror movie does is after it gets you to such a level of tenseness, they want to lower you down a little bit. And that's kind of like what this whole cafeteria. It's just fun too, and that also I really enjoy this scene. And I also want to say hello to Aaron Click real quick. What's going on, Aaron Click?
What is going on? Hello.
Yeah,
Dude, the next scene I like a lot, man.
There we go.
The next
Okay,
scene I
yeah,
like a lot.
explain.
Randy and Dew are meeting up. They're getting some drinks, like not drinks, but like some coffee or whatever. They're at this, little lunch or whatever. They're talking. First off, it plays the footage from Stab, and it's got Luke Wilson in here as Billy Loomis
And Tori
it's got-
Spelling.
Yeah, and Tori Spelling as Sydney, and they redo that scene where they're like, "Hey, my mom's not dead. She left town." Or wait, my mom didn't leave town. She's dead somewhere. Or whatever. And he goes stupid.
Stupid.
I want to see this cut, dude. I really want. I want to call it the Schwimmer cut, because since David Schwimmer is playing Dewey in this movie, release the Schwimmer cut, dude. Let's see that. I want to see that full length movie with David Schwimmer as Dewey, Tori Spelling as Sydney, and Luke Wilson as Billy, and see that play out. Because that sounds like fun, man.
Oh man, dude, it was. You could just tell again they were having fun. Of course, they made fun of Tori, like bring on Tori Spelling just because Sydney said that in the first Scream movie. It's like I can see you as a young Meg Ryan. Well, with my luck, they'll cast Tori Spelling. I guess who they got Tori Spelling, which I thought that was an amazing joke. But yeah, they're talking about lunch and talking about potential suspect, and that's when Randy gives us our freaking rules about sequels. Man, rule number 1: the body count is always higher. Rule number 2: more blood, more guts, carnage, candy. And then I forgot what rule number 3. Oh, Dewey cut him off on rule number 3, which dadgummit Dewey, I wanted to know all the rules. And then he goes, you're a suspect. Well, dummy, well, if I'm a suspect, you're a suspect. So I just thought that was a good interaction. It's just, being meta, knowing about our sequel rules to a horror film. So I like that scene a lot too.
Yeah, and then right after that, Joel comes up to Courtney Cox, to Gail, and he's bringing up concerns, dude. And he's like, "Man, dude, your last freaking cameraman got he was gutted." And she's like, "No, dude, he wasn't gutted. It's fine. I made that part up. His throat was slit."
Got slash
like-
gutted, all the same thing. Like
Joel, and he's so much better than Kenny, dude. He was fun. That's a good moment. Yeah, this next scene I'm not a huge fan of. Sid goes to drama class. They're doing this dance practice thing, and she sees Ghostface in there for a second. Like she's dancing on the screen with all these freaking little, I don't know, ghost looking things, and Ghostface happens to be wearing one of them. And kind of like it could have been a cool sequence, and there for like a half a second it was when Ghostface pops up and then he runs off, and she kind of freaks out. But I just feel like this whole scene kind of slows the pacing down a little bit every time I watch it. It's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, like it does kind of slow it down a little bit, but I feel like this scene was still important. Like I feel like we could have done without like the whole acting within acting, We could have cut that out, but I still wanted to keep the part where she's talking to her professor about being a fighter, because again, that's just adding more layers into the Sidney Prescott character and her development throughout this franchise. And I love that part, but I do agree with you, like when it comes to terms of whole acting, like within acting and all that, which is kind of weird. Wouldn't that be kind of weird? Like you have to act within an acting scene. So
yeah,
I could have done without that.
That's like Inception, man, dude. When you're dreaming within a dream, and then sometimes you dream within a dream within a dream, and sometimes you dream within a dream within a dream within a dream.
Brad, calm down before you break your brain.
Well, mine kind of hurts. Um,
Well,
but
not as much as mine in the skit. But
but yeah, I like that, man. Right after she gets attacked there, Derek shows up. It continues to play with that idea that he is the killer. And again, just, it does a good job with that. But then we get into a real tense moment, man. Randy, Dewey, and Gail, they're all at the park. They're hanging out. We get yet another Friends reference in this thing. I think it's like the third time.
yeah,
When
it's like and you got naked those naked pictures. So I'm like, well, no, that wasn't me, and that was Jennifer Aniston's body. So again,
it's just
there's your
my head.
Friends reference.
Yeah, with David Schwimmer in the background and all kinds of fun stuff. But they're there. They're talking about, the killers and everything, and they get the call from them. So then, like, Randy's like, hey, I got to keep this mofo on the phone. Dewey and Gail are going to go chase, they're going to chase down anybody on the phone in this park, and they're not having very good luck with that. They're running around, they're tackling people. Dewey's jumping over walls and shit, just doing Dewey things. Doofy Dewey's back in full force here, but it's fun. Randy's, this is probably one of the better conversations with the killer in the franchise is Randy, because he's kind of on that same level, when it comes to that. He can really carry that conversation. What's your favorite scary movie? Oh, Showgirls, terrifying, all that fun stuff. Like, it's a really good conversation.
Yeah, it's like you're just a geek. You don't even belong in this belong in this movie. And then, of course, we get the best "fuck you" in cinema history. Fuck you. But dude, it's so freaking great, man. But yeah, he freaking talks to Ghostface and he just decides, like, you know what? Screw you, man. I'm just gonna talk some mad shit about you, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, Stu Mockler was so crazy. And then Billy Loomis, what the fuck? Such a pussy ass mama's boy. And then as soon as he says that, oh man, I'll pull up Ash's comment from earlier, man. Randy's death will always be the biggest mistake Scream 2 made. Definitely Scream 2, but if they would have saved Randy's death for like Scream 3, it could have been more impactful, especially if you give him something to do with it. But yeah, with how Scream 2 handled it, really distasteful in my opinion.
I don't mind it. The setup is good. The buildup is good. He does talk shit about Billy Loomis and his, he gets sucked into that van. It comes out of nowhere. It's one of the better scares in the franchise, and he
Like
gets
an arcade.
slayed. Oh yeah, dude, he gets slayed in there. This is one of the bloodiest kills up to this point in the franchise. It's brutal. And it does suck that Randy was killed because he was such a good character, but this makes for a very memorable moment. This is something you'll never forget. This is one of those moments when you're thinking, if you're I guess depending on how you look at it, it might not be one of your favorite moments of Scream, the franchise, but if you're talking most memorable moments of the franchise, this would probably be near the top of everybody's list because it makes such a big impact. And then not on top of that, it says, hey man, all bets are off. Anybody can die in this thing. This was an alumni from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's somebody that everybody loved. He's a fan favorite. Nobody's going to kill the fan favorite, right? Wrong. They are. They pull him right in there. They slay his ass in the most brutal way possible. And again, it does suck. I hate that. I wish he could have stuck around. I wish he was still around because he's my favorite part about the movies. But it really had there was a good payoff there, and I think it paid off nicely.
Yeah, definitely so. And that's the big thing with the Scream franchise is nobody's safe. It was proven that in Scream 1 with Drew Barrymore. It was proven in this movie with Randy. And then as we talk about some of the other Scream movies later on, like in the next couple of weeks, you'll even notice that some other characters get God when you don't expect to get God. So yeah, that's actually a really good point. But I still feel like they could have done it better, with him like fighting Ghostface and all that, giving them a better fight. But I can understand his death.
Yeah, he wasn't really ever much of a fighter. Like he talked a lot, but he's the one that got, he was running around crazy in the first Scream. He got blown away like immediately. Like that's just not in his MO. He's just the kind of a guy. He's there. He's entertaining. He's a good friend. But I don't know, man. I think what they did was fine. It sucks. It's sad. It makes me want to cry. But I don't think I would change it. I don't think I would change it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, because again, it's called that like impact factor, like in your memory. Like you might not like it, but you definitely remember it. So I'm with you. I would still keep it in.
Not a lot of people have the balls to do that, to kill off a fan favorite, man.
He's got tough. Balls, Cotton.
Cotton comes.
Hey, nice segue.
Yeah, Cotton comes to the library. Cotton shows up to the library.
Hold on, man. Let me bring this back up real quick.
Yeah, it's true. Brad already did break his brain talking about my own. He does show. This is another scene to me that kind of slows the pace down a little bit, but it does an effective job of building up Cotton as a red herring again. She's at the library. She's typing in. She gets this instant message. These two freaking doofuses, man. These two freaking I think these are the cops from Halloween 5 after they got promoted, the detective, because they get her, they pick her up, they're like, oh man, what's going on in here, man? We're about to lock this shit down. And they go set her down in this one they completely leave her by herself in the one spot in the library that has the fucking exit right next to it. So there's these stairs right there that anybody can come in and out of. It's literally the least safe place for her to stand in the library. And they're like, all right, you're good. Stay there. We're going to go over there where we know there's nobody. And it was so dumb. But then Cotton does show up. And again, he's crazy as a mofo here. This is, again, just trying to set him up as the killer. It's effective. It works. It does make you think for sure this guy's got to be a killer, right?
Diane fucking Sawyer, man. That's all he wants, freaking man, is Diane Sawyer, man. But Sydney's like, no, I'm good, dude. Let's just freaking move on. I'm tired of this bullshit. You should be too. He said, no, you put me to jail. And then he chases her, and then that's when the two doofus detectives arrest him. Bold strategy there, Cotton. Let's hope it works out for him.
I know. So it was a bolt. Like, you would think this guy, of all people, who's just got out of prison for a year for a crime he did not commit, would be like, maybe I shouldn't go looking around like a creep in a fucking library whenever there's an active murder spree going on, because I'm very likely going to be the suspect. In fact, I'm going to move to Florida on the other side, and I'm not going to be anywhere near these mofos. I'm not going down no more. But yeah, that scene was, it's decent enough, but I don't know.
Yeah, and before we continue moving on, I have been noticing the chat real quick, like from Aaron Click and Gavin specifically, kind of saying, I think I'm getting to the second part of it. I think we're to assume Randy's dead, like, because they're saying that Randy kind of like is not dead, but I kind of disagree with that, because Scream 5 solidified his death with this monument, like his what do you call that? Like a little shrine or something of his. So, of course, like, the scholarship, the Randy Meek scholarship and all that they explained in the 5th one. So I personally disagree with that. But it's an interesting theory if I've been reading in the comic section.
I do. Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, it would be kind of cool, but yeah, again, it's kind of like the Stu thing. It's so far-fetched. If it were to happen, it would almost tarnish the first couple movies to an extent. I don't know.
Cotton fucking weary.
Cotton that name is just cool, man. Like, Cotton's Revenge could be the name of Scream 7.
Dude, absolutely should. As we get the interrogation of freaking Cotton and all that, it doesn't really go well. They let him go because, again, they got no concrete evidence on that. If they get a whole plan that they're going to move Sydney to a safe spot, which it wasn't very safe if you ask me. And then, of course, that's when Joelle leaves freaking Gail, and Gail's pretty much like very vulnerable in this movie. She's just realizing that all
Joelle.
I know, man. Sorry,
Santa
Super Bowl
Claus.
hangover mixing with my Scream 2 excitement. So
yes, I'm sorry. It just made me think of Noel for a second.
I'm like, no, it's not Christmas time. But anyways, the cameraman leaves, and Gail's pretty much all alone in this movie. And then Gail's like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I just want to catch this fucker. And then her and Dewey do some studying of film in a classroom. And then that's when they decide to get their freaking freak on. Get your freak on. Get your freak on. Yeah. I went there, guys. So get their freak on, and fan Ghostface not that far behind.
Yeah, dude, they were about to fuck on this in the theater, man. And then Ghostface pops up out of nowhere and pops his footage up there, and ultimate moment of cock blockery there by Ghostface, but it worked. It was effective. So then they're basically they have to run away from Ghostface. Dewey goes up after him. There's a good scene where Ghostface is chasing Gale around, and they do this freaking really pretty cool scene where Dewey's in there's this glass barrier just separating the two rooms. Gale's in one, Dewey's in the other. It's like soundproof, so you can't hear each other. And Dewey comes up behind Gale, and he's like, "Hey, Gale, what's going on?" And she's like, "I'm not paying attention because I can't hear you." And then Ghostface stabs his ass in the back, and then she turns around. It's actually a really impactful scene, and with the buildup and everything, man, I mean, honestly, that would have been a good Dewey death. I'm glad they didn't kill him because I love Dewey. He's my favorite at that point. But that would have been a really effective, I think, moment for him to die right in front of her like that. That was pretty intense.
Dude, it's actually I'll go ahead and say this. The second best tense scene, in my opinion, in the franchise. I thought they did this really, really well, especially because why this is successful is again establishing that relationship between Gale and Dewey right before all hell breaks loose. But like for them, like like Ghostface chasing them and all that, and then seeing Dewey get freaking stabbed multiple times and the blood splattering on the glass and seeing her just an emotional wreck and she barely surviving Ghostface. Dude, I just think it's definitely the tension was so damn good in this.
Yeah, it was really well done, man. I honestly think this scene is better than Dewey's ultimate, sacrifice there in the fifth one. If I had to pick the two, I mean, I think that one's really effective too. But this one's just with Gale and him together, man. That was good. But again, I'm glad they didn't kill him. They faked the shit out of us though, man. They really made us think that he was dead. And then Cotton comes out of the room after this. He's covered in blood. He's like, man, I found Dewey. I tried to help him, but and again, just another line, just making us think he's dead, which I think is just at that point they're yanking our chain. They're doing that on purpose.
That's a bold strategy again, Cotton. Hopefully it keeps working for you, man. But
this
yeah,
dumb, I know this guy, this fucking idiot, man. He's out here just trying to get caught again. He liked prison. He misses the food there.
Oh man, hey, and probably even misses dropping the soap. Nah, I'm just kidding with you. But right before we really dive into this third act, let me get some quick shout outs. I see some new people in the chat. Will, what's going on? How are you doing? Fachi, what's going on, my friend? I'm here for the Carnage candy. Trust me, we got plenty of it coming up here in a minute. And then Ashton says, Gale's cameraman in Scream 2 is the smartest character in horror history. He got the fuck out. You know what? He is legit one of the smartest one. He was kind of like almost a Randy within a Randy.
Oh yeah, dude. He saw the writing on the wall. He's like, I am out of here. It was yeah. I like that in the character.
Yeah, and then Caesar Horn, what's going on? He's caught in fucking weary, the fabric of our lives. Absolutely. And before we continue on this third act, again, if you have not voted in the poll right now, be sure to get your votes in because, again, you all get to decide the letter grade of this movie for Scream 2. We don't get to decide shit. You all get to decide everything.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it, to seeing how this thing scores here in a minute, man.
But third act time, man. Freaking Sydney and her roommate Haley go for a little joyride.
This is yet again, so with all that intensity that just happened with Dewey and Gale back in the school, this is yet another moment that to me I feel like slows the pace down a bit in this movie, in this third act, because it's like it's freaking they umped it. The intensity goes to 11, and then they jump in this car. And granted, this doesn't last very long. It's not a long scene, but this is one that always just kind of slows down the pace a little bit. They're going. I don't know where they're taking the girls to. They're trying to the two detectives, the two guys from Halloween 5 are back.
Man.
Yeah, they're trying to take him to the safe place. I don't know, fucking Walmart or something. Who knows?
Oh, sorry, real quickly, because this comes important to play later. Derek sends off Sydney like, hey, I'm thinking about you, bye-bye. And then he gets freaking kidnapped by his frat house just because he gave away his Greek letters to Sydney earlier in that cafeteria scene. And that is a major no-no. And then they freaking left him hanging there in the theater spot. Just wanted to let y'all keep that picture in your mind here in a little bit.
We should have done that for the skit, man. We should have done the whole thing.
I want to do that so bad. It's just like, Bert, how'd you get up there? And sorry, two quick hellos of Cody Snyder, one of our patrons, what's going on? And then I think you're new here. Phil's Fuse, welcome to Goodwill Hunting. Make Phil welcome, everybody. And then the third movie, they are put to death. Sorry. I always felt like they should have dragged Billy and Stu in prison then.
Yeah, dude. That could have been cool, man. That would have been, yeah. I mean, I like Billy and Stu. They're the best part, but
apparently Stu's still alive, but maybe. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't. I think he dead or been dead. But anyways, Sydney and Haley get a surprise visitor as they're freaking driving when they're in the middle of town with freaking nobody around. Like that's to me like where the hell is everybody?
Well, they had that curfew. I'll give them credit for that.
I thought it was a campus curfew, not a town curfew.
Well, they were still on campus, weren't they? It seemed
No,
like
I
they
thought
were,
they were
right?
in the middle of town somewhere, like kind of
Oh.
like one of those rural town areas, kind of
Yeah.
like where I live, and like downtown. That's kind of like what the feel if it was. Where the hell
Yeah, I thought
was
they were still.
everybody?
I thought they're still on campus because she runs to the theater after on foot.
Well, apparently, I guess she ran a mile or something. But anyways, not really
Either
important. What
way,
is
yeah.
important? Mister Ghostface comes along and kills the 2 detectives.
Yeah, the two goons get taken out. This is actually a decent moment of action, because Ghostface he pops up out of nowhere. He kills the two detectives, and it's like a good fight sequence. Like Ghostface is jumping up over the car, he kicks one in the face. These two guys are like they're out here with their guns. Hey, you motherfucker! All this like I don't know. Ghostface steals the car. I don't know what his intentions were. I really don't know why. Like the two girls are still in the back because they can't get out of the back because it's
He
locked.
wasn't driving very well last night.
And Ghostface steals the car, Grand Theft Auto style. I don't know if he was going to go drive it into a lake and just fucking leave and let them drown. I don't know what his goals were at that point. But
What
he was going to go
doing?
somewhere. What was he
Oh,
planning
man.
on doing? He's trying to go to
Say
Wally World.
he runs into a bunch of pipes. I think we actually possibly get to me one of the most brutal scenes in the entire franchise. It's that detective, like one of the poles going through the detective's head through the windshield and all that, dude. And those are some gnarly effects right there.
Oh yeah, that was actually a really cool death, man. Really gross. Ghostface gets knocked out cold like the graboid, and yeah, they have to crawl through the front. I don't know why these two people. I don't know why they didn't just bust a window out in the back, but they have to freaking. I like it.
Yeah, I
They're
love
supposed
that.
to-
That's so far. That's the comment of the night.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good point. Timothy Oliphant could have definitely. Yeah, for sure, man.
Mhm.
Raylan Givens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know why they decided to climb up through the front of the car and over Ghostface's lap instead of busting the window out in the back. But whatever.
Well, it
I
was a
mean,
freaking back of a cop car. Like it's like they already
there were no
established it's the most
cages.
impossible thing to get out of.
There were no cages back there. They could just broke the window and climbed. But anyway, that's again.
Right?
Neither
Don't give
here
away
nor
your
there.
secrets. No, I'm just kidding.
There's neither here nor there. It just I don't know. It just this moment just feels like it slows things down. But they do finally get out. Ghostface kills the roommate. She gets sliced, which is sad because I actually think she was a fun character too. And she was a better friend than Tatum. Tatum was like, you know what? Fuck you. Let's go party. She was actually like really supportive and she was a nice lady, but she got to just the same.
Yeah, and that was I blame Sydney 110% on that and her selfishness, wanting to know who Ghostface was and leaving her friend behind. You don't freaking split up, man. Splitting up is a really bad idea because if you split up, you get split.
That's right. That's what happened here, man. And then she
Yeah,
does
and-
run to the theater and
Oh,
sets
and
up this
sorry,
whole third act.
wanted to address one last thing. The car scene, that's to me the most tense scene in the entire franchise, in my opinion. Just the tension, just for me, was so great. Just kind of like the pacing of it, or her like crying over Ghostface, hitting the car horn and everything. I absolutely love that scene.
Yeah, there is some tension there, but dude, I just kind of think it's silly the way the way their method of exit kind of always just kind of makes me scratch my head. And then even after Sydney gets out, she makes her friend do the same thing instead of pulling Ghostface out of the seat and let him lay on the ground. And I don't know, or they could have finished him off like he was dead to rights right there.
It's only a movie, Brad Dadgummit.
I know.
Sorry, let me do it again. Dadgummit.
I know. But I digress, man. It is tense though. When you turn all that off and watch it, it's a good moment. But yeah, dude, they go the greatest detectives are dead. They go to the theater now. They set this whole thing up at the theater.
Yeah, it's set up in the theater, and then she finds Derek. Derek gets descended down, and then she tries to release him, and that's when Ghostface shows up, and we get our first reveal of Mr. Ghostface, and it is Mickey, not Mickey Mouse, but our boy Mickey, Timothy Olyphant. Surprise and all that. Kind of like, to me, he was like a combination between Billy and Stu. He's freaking crazy like Stu, but smart like Billy, playing the mind games with Cindy about how, Derek, where were you, man? I was working all night solo, man, like my partner. And then that's where Cindy's like, oh, I don't freaking trust you, man. And Derek's getting all pissed off. And then, as Steve Mockner says, wha-pow! Freaking Mickey pulls a bullet right through Derek, man.
Yeah, dude, that was a good sequence, man. Because they did make us think that again. Derek's in on it again, and you could see why Sydney would fall for that. You could actually see that. Now we knew probably at this point he's not. But Sydney, you could at least you could put yourself in her shoes and be like, you know what, fuck, man, I could see this actually happening. This is how it's going to play out. So I like that. And then, but yeah, they blow him away. And then they're like, hey, man, who just lifted his body up? Because he did just go sailing up. That must be my partner. And then the door opens and Gail comes out. And you're like, oh, shit, dude, you kidding me? Freaking mind blown. Epiphany. Wow, shit. And she's like, no, it ain't me. It's not me. And then freaking Miss Salt, Debbie Salt comes out behind her, who's the random ass fucking reporter that's been in this movie the whole time that nobody really knew anything about because she's such a random character. But she reveals herself to be Billy's mother.
Billy's mother.
Yeah, that was awesome, though.
Man. Dude, it was so awesome. Now, real quickly back to Mickey. It's like, oh, poor Derek. He was going to graduate college, be a doctor. Someone you want to take home to mother. If you had a mom, fuck you. Oh, dude, it was such great. And then, of course, we get the classic line. It's like, let me tell you forgot about one thing about Billy. I fucking killed him. Like, again, Sydney being a badass. So, yeah, we get freaking Debbie Salts or Mrs. Loomis, Billy's mother. And she doesn't like Mickey's reasoning for the killings, which Mickey's reasons, he wants to get caught and he's going to blame the movies, which is actually a popular topic during that time of 97, that the movies are like causing all these killing sprees and all that. Even though Mrs. Loomis was like, yeah, it's a bullshit. Let me go ahead and give you just a simple one. Pure old-fashioned revenge.
I like that because I was thinking while I was watching it, I was like, dude, this is such a stupid motive, talking about Mickey. And then she calls him out on it after she blows him away. She's like, yeah, he was an idiot. This was like that shit was never going to work. So I like that. She was actually a pretty good villain, man. I actually thought she was solid, and it made sense for her to have that because she was brought up in the first movie. She's actually the reason why Billy, essentially the fact that she left is why Billy got all upset to begin with. So now it comes full circle here. So you can buy it. It makes sense. It's good. It's a good motive.
Yeah, definitely a good motive. And then we get a big showdown between Sydney and Mrs. Loomis. And I actually really like this interaction or like this fight between them, like Sydney using the environments at the theater and all that. I'm not sure what Mrs. Loomis was doing at one point, climbing the wall full of like the fake bricks and all that and falling down. Like, even though where was she going and all that? And then that's when freaking Cotton Weary freaking comes in, just doing his action line of what the fuck is going on here.
It was, dude. And that's finally when we see Cotton kind of be normal. He's got the gun. This is after Gail got blown away. She got shot in the stomach and falls in that little random ass trench. And then, yeah, he's sitting there. He's got the gun up. Miss Salt or Miss Loomis, whatever you want to call her, has got a knife up to Sydney's, head or whatever, essentially holding her hostage. And then Cotton just used this ultimate moment this moment as an ultimate bargaining tool to get that fucking Diane Sawyer interview. He's like, you know what? I got the power now. I got all the chips in my basket. Diane Sawyer, yay or nay? And she's like, you know what? Consider it done. Blows Miss Loomis away, man. Cotton does. Coolest moment for Cotton, man. This is what really set up that third movie so well. It is kind of a shame they killed him off so early in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if then Sydney gets up, if then Cotton just goes back from being a man, just kind of like this little cowardly or just not as confident, going, it's like, Sydney, I was never really going to hurt you, and then that's when she gets the gun from Cotton, and then Gail comes back from the dead. She's okay, and then like, of course, we get back that line again. Be careful, they always come back for one good scare, and then that's when Mickey comes back. Like, go, "Lah!" And then they turn around, just unloaded a whole damn clip on freaking Mickey. And then, of course, we get one of the most badass scenes in the franchise of Sydney pointing the gun at Mrs. Loomis's head. Bang! Pulls a bullet right through her head, and she goes, "Just in case." And you know what? That's a smart move, man, because I would have done the same.
Oh, for sure, dude. At that point, you gotta, yeah, you don't want to
aim for the head.
Yeah, exactly. Aim for the head.
Just kind of like Thor. I went for the head. But yeah, so we get that, and then Gail's about to report the story, and then that's when Dewey comes alive. He's going like, Gail. And then again, development of character here. Gail goes with Dewey instead of reports the story, and I thought that was awesome. And then Sydney leads the reporters to our boy Cotton, so he could get some fame. And then Sydney just walks away. The end.
Yes, dude. I love it, man. Nothing really to add to what you just said there. Sorry, I went ahead and did all the math for the rating here in a second.
Oh, so
But yeah, man.
I'm good to end the poll.
Yeah, you can end it, man. I think we're good. I got everything I need.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we're good, man. I got perfect, man. Actually, I got exactly what I need there. Actually.
Alrighty.
Um,
Okay, I got those numbers ready, like in percentages. But yeah, if you
oh,
will
I've already
go
got
ahead
it.
and
It's
get.
all good. I'm
Oh, it's
working
all.
on.
We're good.
We're
Okay.
good. I'm working on
All right.
getting the. If you want to check with the chat for a second, I'll have this up in no time.
Yeah, man. And then we'll do our overall thoughts on our own personal ratings before we reveal the real ratings, the ratings that actually matter. Yeah, Eric Click, dead right. The theme song for Back from the Dead. Back from the Dead. Okay, that was absolutely horrible. I apologize for hurting your all's ears. Eric Click saying hilariously weird the way Mickey says Billy's mother in a peacock-like proud manner. Yeah, dude, I laugh every time he says Billy's mother. So and then yeah, Gavin, yeah, you hit the nail on the head right here. Mickey was too obvious because he's gone for like 45 minutes of the movie at one point, and Mrs. Loomis is kind of a lame reveal as well. I understand her motive, but I don't know, the character was just weak. Yeah, again, that's just again, we got no time, really much time to develop that character, but at the same time, they just wanted to do a shock factor. So that's why I was okay with Mrs. Loomis, but the Mickey one, yeah, that was too obvious.
Yeah, I'll give you that, man. It was obvious, and there wasn't a lot of build-up. So yeah, I totally agree with that. He wasn't the best killer in the world, but he was charismatic when it came down to it. At the end, he was fun. The reveal was fun.
Well, thank you, Gavin. I do have a voice of an angel. Appreciate that. And Micah Joe, what's going on, man? Long time no see. What's going on, my friend?
Yeah, dude. Welcome, man. Freaking welcome.
Hell yeah. I think Cody
Back.
Snyder says, screw Ghostface, though. Still not a big four slasher to me. Again, I disagree. I put Ghostface on the Mount Rushmore of slashers just because that Ghostface mask so iconic to me, and what he did in the '90s too, to bring back or to revamp the slasher genre.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's good. The only thing that holds it back is always somebody different. There's nothing really personal about him.
But
But
see, but that's what's
the look is
also
good.
awesome too, though. It could be anybody. Like Michael Myers will always be Michael Myers. Jason will always be Jason. And Freddy will be Freddy. But Ghostface, it could be one of us. Hell, it was even you during our skits, so it could be you. Maybe the next
Oh,
skit, it
dude.
could be
No,
me.
dude. That wasn't me.
Oh, shut the hell up. But anyway, so yeah, that is pretty much Scream 2. So, Brad, let's get to our overall thoughts and a quick rating before we reveal the final rating, the rating that actually matters.
Yeah, I think this is a solid sequel, man. Like I said, I grew up watching this movie quite a bit. Because it came out so close to Scream. I had this thing on repeat as a kid. Still, it's my second favorite in the franchise. Spoiler alert for the ranking there. And I don't know if that's going to change. Maybe Scream 6 could dethrone it. Maybe, I don't know, but we'll see. It's got a pretty strong foothold up there, though. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Nice. Definitely Scream 2 does the ultimate goal of a horror sequel was supposed to be. Again, it followed Randy's rules. The body count's higher. Definitely more bloods and guts, carnage candy. Scream 2 gave that to us along with better with the characters developing and giving us new characters that we actually really enjoy being in this movie. Something very important to do in a franchise. So I still have a good time with this, but yes, I agree, Brad. There are a lot of scenes in this movie where they could have easily cut it out. Instead of a 2-hour movie, this could have been like an hour, like 45-minute movie if they really wanted to do that without hurting the pacing or just the story in general. But I still love it. College Campus, I again wish they could use more of the College Campus, but it is what it is. I still enjoy it. Have a good time with this. So I'm also, Brad, going to give this a 4 out of 5. So with that, that's going to be a good level of the Jimbo dance with Jimbo.
I don't want to do this anymore, but Birdie needs to get back on the dance floor.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Brad, I'm going to take a little break from talking here. My jaw kind of hurts. So how about you do the honors of revealing the score of Scream 2?
Let's check out the scare scores, man. This is what we're here for, to see how horror fans rate Scream 2. I polled almost 100 people again. I think it was in the 70s on Killer Flicks for this. And 91% of horror fans
Let
like
me remove
Scream
that
2.
banner.
So
There we
I'm going to
go.
give it a horror fan rating of 91%. This is, again, straight from horror fans, so I think that's pretty nice. That's a big difference from what we saw in the Rotten Tomatoes score. So that's exactly what we want to see. That's our goal in this, is to see how
Mhm.
horror fans rate these movies as opposed to general movie audience goers. And then the average score that you guys gave it here tonight in this room, our friends, the real hunters here tonight, man, gave it an A-, man. So that's a pretty good score all around, and it really matches up with that fan rating as well. It's right next to it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with these scores, most definitely. And again, this is the whole purpose of doing this. Like, screw Rotten Tomatoes, screw IMDb. Letterboxd is a little bit more towards the fans, even though sometimes they don't always get it right. So this is why we do this, so we could get the true rating of these horror movies that they rightfully deserve from the horror fans, because you guys are the best fans out there, any ever movie genre that's out there. So I agree with these numbers. Great job, guys.
Love it, dude. Love to see it, and that's what I want to see, man. I want to see. When I'm curious if I'm going to watch a scary movie or not, I want to know what the horror fans are thinking, man. That's what it comes down to.
Exactly. It's absolutely, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to close on out, but we want to let y'all know what's coming up on the channel. And the first thing is, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so we're gonna spread some good real love with Scream 2 Trivia Challenge. Again, this is a little new series that we're doing to go along with our live interactive reviews. So expect this particular video to drop tomorrow. Definitely comments in it in the comment section, because we want to know how you all do in this particular challenge.
Yeah, dude. Last week was a lot of fun, and I like this one more than the last one, man. I thought the questions were good.
Yeah, man. I'll try to do the very best I can to bring a freaking challenge, man. So are you up for the challenge? Pay attention to the video drop tomorrow on the day of love. But man, speaking of love, I love this. I know you're ready for this one. I know you're so looking forward to loving this particular stream we're doing Friday.
The dude abides, man. We're gonna get our White Russians out. We're gonna hang out with Kyle, Curtis, Flett. We're gonna be watching the Big Lebowski, not on Thursday this week, but on Friday. Kyle's joining us, and we had that. We bumped it up to Friday, and we're excited. It's a Patreon pick from him, and it's gonna be a fun time because Brett's never actually. Well, you've seen this movie, you just didn't really like it the first
Yeah,
time.
it was just a bad day, so I'm ready to get a good day on this one.
Yeah, we're gonna be moving forward towards that horror, or that, I'm sorry, man, horror's on my mind. We're gonna be moving forward to that real March Madness tournament next month. This movie, of course, is going to be on that bracket for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, again, sorry for another schedule change. Ant-Man of the Wasp: Quantum Mania comes out on Thursday, and I don't ever skip a Marvel premiere ever. And I appreciate Brad for working with me on that. So it'll be this Friday for this stream at 8 o'clock Eastern time with our boy Kyle. We're looking forward to it. And we're also looking forward to our next Patreon hangout. So if you're the tiers 2 and 3 of our Real Hunters Patreon, you get to hang out with us on Saturday at noon Eastern time. And we'll just hang out. We'll answer any questions that you all have, or we'll pretty much talk about anything. So if you want to talk about how the Chiefs were badass at the Super Bowl, we'll freaking do that. We'll talk about commercials. Or if you want to talk about Brad's broken brain, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. And that's, again, this Saturday at noon Eastern time for tiers 2 and 3.
Yeah, dude, for sure, man.
Yeah. So Brad, talk about a freaking bear doing cocaine.
Cocaine Bear comes up next week. Right before it drops, we're going to be giving you the real story of this cocaine induced bear. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be awesome, man. It's a fun story.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And I forgot the thumbnail, but the next Sunday, it'll be our live interactive review for Scream 3. So we get to do all this over again. And we'll go back to like normal time of like when we do our live stream. So hopefully we can continue that awesome momentum you all have built for us. And then On February the 23rd, we are going to be doing the Shining Watch Party. This is our 1K special where you all voted what movie we should watch. You all picked The Shining, and we're going to be doing that on February the 23rd. We're still going to determine the time on that. We don't know just yet because, again, this is a long movie, but we will let you know as soon as that is decided.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And then, of course, expect our top 5 90s videos to keep on dropping and all that. So there's plenty of good stuff to come out of Good Will Hunting. But Brad, anything else you want to address before we log out?
Dude, I think that's it, man. I feel good about it. It's a good show. Good talk. Looking forward to getting some Creed next week while we do Scream 3. And it's going to be good.
Dude, it's going to be a freaking good time. Nah, I'm just kidding. I promise not to sing anymore. But I do want to ask you guys, if you're watching during this stream or if you're watching after the fact, what do you all think about Scream 2? Do you agree with those numbers that we freaking voted on from the horror fans? Or just let us know your thoughts. Did you like it? Do you dislike it? Is it the best? Is it the worst? Let us know all of that in the comment section down below, and we'll get that discussion rolling.
Yeah, man. As always, if you want to help us fund the good reels, our socials are right down below in the description. That Patreon link's down there as well. And looking forward to the next time.
Absolutely. So we will definitely see you all for Scream 3 on Sunday, and we will see you this Friday for some of the Big Lebowski. Because if you want to join us, or if you don't want to join us, it's just your opinion, man.
Have the White Russians though. Have those flowing. Brady, I'm talking to you too.
See you there.
Yes.
Brad, your finger crossed the line. No, I'm just kidding.
Over the line.
Over the line. See you guys.